There we go. Well, welcome everybody. This is Will from DNA Business Management Solutions, and today we're talking about solving inventory inaccuracies through automation and Sage 300 integration. And I have the pleasure to welcome Alexander from Edisoft. He's going to be presenting our session today, but before we get on to that, I have a couple of things to cover. One is, as I mentioned, we're going to record this session and post it to our YouTube channel so everybody can review it and share it with others that may have not been able to make it today. So please feel free to share that around. We'll send out a note with the link to that. So for that reason, everybody's on mute. Please put your questions in the chat window and we'll answer them at the end of the session. So I think most people know me, Will Booth from DNA, but we've wanted to just let you know we've seen increasing interest in automating warehouse and quote to cash, terms like that, order fulfillment and processing more efficiently with their Sage 300. Whether you're doing orders through many channels, phone, email, web store, things such as electronic data interchange or EDI, which is where Edisoft started their life as a partner with us and before, but have continued to build out their solution to offer even more capabilities to make your order fulfillment solutions and inventory management more productive. And as I said, Edisoft is a key partner of ours. It's a fully integrated solution with Sage 300, and they've been in business since 1995, and we've been working with them since before I joined DNA in 2005. The last 10 years, as I mentioned, they've increased the product offering to include an overall fulfillment process and automating the warehouse and much more that I'll let Alexander talk about. As I mentioned, Alexander Polizos is the operations manager and Sage program manager at Edisoft, and he's going to be the one leading most of the presentation today, and he'll start off with taking you through the agenda. So you're over to you, Alexander. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for the great introduction there, Will, and it's a pleasure to be speaking with everyone today. Again, thank you to DNA as a valued and trusted partner of Edisoft for a decade plus now within the Sage 300 channel, and it's certainly always great working with the DNA team in jointly solving common business challenges that we identify for Sage 300 distributors and manufacturers. Again, my name is Alexander Polizos. Today we will have a focus on the warehousing side of our platform in terms of solving inventory inaccuracies through automation and integration, but also give you a sense for how Edisoft is actually uniquely positioned and differentiated within the market to provide you a connected supply chain. And we'll go into more detail of that in just a moment. So today's agenda is the following: the cloud connected supply chain from Edisoft for Sage 300, a target market for our applications and connectors, as well as common warehousing challenges that are solved by this connectivity. A little bit more about our warehousing solution called Quikpak, a little bit about the solution overview, some particular benefits, and then we are going to do a little bit of a tilt or slant, if you will, to the food and beverage sector. So we have provided our platform for distributors and manufacturers across a wide range of vertical industries, and we have a slide showing you who some of our existing Sage 300 customers are and what industries they are in. And we will be able to provide some specific detail on how we help with that specific vertical industry as well. We'll save probably about 10 to 15 minutes at the end for any Q&A that might be generated as we go through these slides. And with that, I will get started. So the cloud connected supply chain, what is that and how does it pertain to your Sage ecosystem? Well, Sage Business Cloud, as Sage is moving towards more of a cloud-enabled product line, and with Sage 300, we've already seen that begin with Sage 300C, enabling web screen access to the key accounting modules. It's all about empowering distributors and discrete manufacturers to grow their business. And what Edisoft has done is build a connected supply chain that builds around, through integration, builds around your Sage 300 ERP, and delivering an end-to-end solution for order management and order fulfillment and other key processes within the warehouse, such as purchase order receiving, only delivered through connecting Sage ISV solutions, and that's through API integration. So very key consideration that although we have connectors and standards for connectivity that allow us to bring in any application, it's important to recognize that we work very well and very closely with those products that are built for and within the Sage ecosystem today. So these are trusted partners that have been in the market, some as long as Edisoft, some at least a decade plus, that have been working within the Sage market and with Sage specifically for Sage 300, and have a solution ready for you in particular product categories. Now what does that connected supply chain look like from a product category perspective? If you look at this image here, we're identifying with each of these blue circles a different product category or application that we've seen are the distributors and manufacturers that have chosen to work with Edisoft that they require to support their business. Now, on the order management side, it starts with that left, that orange outline circle on the left. It could be EDI, and going up, seeing e-commerce, and obviously your ERP is part of the capturing for that audit trail within order entry for those orders that you're bringing in, regardless of the order source. You could be getting them through electronic data interchange with your trading partners, that's EDI. You could be getting them from an e-commerce store today or looking to do that. Could be Shopify, could be Amazon, could be a Sage e-commerce web store. Then there are other considerations related to tax, business intelligence, and reporting. Once we get into the fulfillment side, we're looking at potentially connecting an MRP if you have manufacturing considerations, potentially connecting a third-party logistics provider if you do not use your own warehouse or own your own warehouse, potentially connecting a CMS, carrier management system. That would be integration to FedEx, UPS, USPS, essentially any carrier that you use today or carriers that you're looking to use as it might pertain to managing the trend in e-commerce and how to handle small parcel shipments. And then, of course, are these applications cloud? Are they on-premise? Do you need to support a hybrid environment? All of that is handled within the Edisoft platform or Edisoft Hub. Now, the two circles that are highlighted in orange on the right and left side of this hub and spoke image are the Edisoft applications themselves that make up the connected platform. Our merchant application, now called Merchant Cloud, is a SaaS multi-tenanted browser-based application that also serves as an order management portal that we can connect e-commerce and other order sources to, and bring all of those in a consolidated way into your Sage 300 ERP. Where we'll be focusing our talk today is actually on the WMS or order fulfillment side, and that's our product called Quikpak. That is a web-based mobile application that can be deployed on a workstation or handheld barcode scanning devices in the warehouse, and we can connect, again, MRP considerations, 3PL, CMS, and regardless of your existing application stack, if you've already made certain investments, our platform is agnostic to applications that are already running in the cloud, already on-premise, and we can support a hybrid IT environment. So here's some of those technology considerations for the Edisoft Hub. Standard and compatible integration specifications for all A2A and B2B applications. A2A essentially being those applications that are supporting your internal processes, could be the warehousing application, could be a carrier management application, could be an MRP for manufacturing considerations. B2B is actually the connectivity to your trading partners and the people that you do business with. Could be suppliers, could be vendors, could be carriers, and that's also supported within our platform. So Edisoft has actually created a service layer, if you will, that has standardized how we connect to all of these types of applications, regardless of the one that you choose as the best fit for your business. So we have that flexibility to act as a singular point of connectivity for your business and bringing all that back into Sage 300, which ultimately becomes your single source of truth, creating an end-to-end audit trail for your order management and order fulfillment workflows. Very unique to Edisoft is that our connectivity and our applications do not require any software coding or customization, no ETL or data mapping tools, no field level data mapping. This section right here is letting you know that we are eliminating the complexity that is typically involved in integrating multiple applications together and back to Sage 300. We also, in doing so, eliminate the cost to support and maintain legacy A2A and B2B integration mappings. Now, that could result in a dependency on an internal staff or a third-party resource, and it also creates a much more flexible IT environment at the time that you're looking to upgrade your Sage 300 ERP. There could be some new features and functions within the 2020 version of Sage 300 that you're looking to take advantage of. Well, if you have field-level data mapping integrations to multiple applications, it makes it a much more costly, time-consuming process. We eliminate that. We eliminate that complexity. Again, it's creating optimized data exchange throughout the A2A and B2B application stack. So we're eliminating data rekeying across your supply chain applications. We're also able, by doing so, to institute industry best practices, which I'll speak to in a number of case studies towards the end of this presentation. We're creating cross-platform system orchestration with full data integrity. So I'd already hinted or spoken to an end-to-end audit trail. We're able to capture that and bring it into Sage by virtue of connecting this ecosystem. So what that means is, as an order is being brought in, if there are no exceptions and it doesn't get put on hold in Sage, it's immediately available in the warehouse for the fulfillment staff to begin picking and packing. Once that's picked and packed, it's immediately available to the carrier management system to send a call to FedEx to have the weight and size of that shipment called for a FedEx label, a tracking number, and freight cost. That's system level orchestration, and we help you do that throughout the order to cash cycle. So we're removing business intelligence blind spots, creating a single source of truth, again, across A2A and B2B networks. So regardless of where and how and who you're doing business with, we're able to bring that into our consolidated platform. And again, as I'd mentioned, we support on-premise, cloud-to-cloud, or hybrid IT environments. That all comes out of the box with our applications and our connectors. So again, this connected supply chain is all about maximizing visibility, productivity, and profitability over the life cycle of your ERP. So Edisoft's target market. Today, in front of you is a sample of some of our Sage 300 end users across multiple vertical industries. These are all distributors and manufacturers: apparel, food and beverage, consumer packaged goods, health and beauty, other. Within the other column, Maxis is in the automotive industry, providing tires and accessories like that. Luxops is actually a third-party logistics provider. Energex is a fuel and energy company. So as you can see, over a 25-year history for our company, we've not only seen and dealt with every vertical industry, we've actually built those requirements as configurable options within our system. So no need to understand, you're not looking at introducing a vendor that needs to understand the vertical industry requirements, potentially in food and beverage, lot and expiry controls and tracking. That is built into our product after years of domain expertise of providing order management and fulfillment solutions across the spectrum of vertical industries. So what does this connected supply chain look like for end users, and what freedom does it give them in terms of its modularity and configurability? Here's a graph that shows how we help enable businesses to grow with this platform. Again, being able to reduce the total cost for implementation, reduce the total cost for adoption, and ultimately get you up and running as quick as possible. So the two key metrics on this graph are order and shipment volume and business size and complexity. Now for Edisoft, because we are helping, our key value for our solution is about helping organize best practices for order management and order fulfillment. Complexity for us is really a measurement of how many different order types and order sources and shipment types are you dealing with. So when I say order types, within the world of EDI, there are cross-dock, distribution center, even e-commerce orders. Those are different order types from one order source, which is EDI. Now there's also e-commerce web source like Shopify and Amazon. That's a unique order source and a unique order type. Those different order sources alone have multiple label requirements for the shipments, which could be LTL shipments, less than truckload, FTL, full truckload, or in the world of e-commerce today, there's a lot more small parcel shipments that need to be managed. And that actually has a significant effect on distributors and manufacturers and their operations, because most of our customers are going from doing 100 shipments a week to 100 shipments a day. And there's a lot of administrative overhead in helping understand how you manage that manually. And what we do with our connected supply chain is help make that a system orchestrated process, one that becomes automated and allows our customers to focus on value add considerations for their business and growing their business. So in the world of EDI and warehousing and integrating that to a carrier management system, obviously there were more circles around that hub and spoke image, but you can see that on the right-hand side, as we move up the spectrum, as order and shipment volume is increasing or business size and complexity is increasing, Edisoft is adding on modular products. Now, some of those, once we get towards the top, Sage Inventory Advisor, Sage Enterprise Intelligence, Orchid Bin, those aren't actually Edisoft products, but we have connectors to them, or we complement them by providing system orchestrated data in real time across the platform. So what that means is your inventory forecasting and replenishment, and Sage Inventory Advisor is a great tool to help you visualize that data of how to manage your inventory. It's only as good as the accuracy of your data. So with a product like Quikpak in your warehouse, you're getting real-time data exchange for inventory levels as they're fluctuating, both on inventory coming in and inventory going out, as well as its location within the warehouse. And that's what a product like Orchid Bin can help you do as well. So from this perspective, we're seeing how as your business stands today and as your business grows tomorrow, Edisoft is able to, in a modular way and configurable way, add on these pieces that help support your business needs as they arise. So what does this connected supply chain really solve? At the end of the day, what does it mean for your business? What are some of these common warehouse challenges? On this slide, we're identifying just 8 high-level ones that we see as what gets rolled up into a customer might come to us and say, I have an issue calling carriers. Well, a lot of that has to do with disconnected EDI, warehousing, and shipping systems. We've seen customers deal with missed or late orders due to unforeseen stockouts, or dealing potentially with inventory surpluses. A lot of that has to do with being able to manage in real time the inventory within your warehouse, being able to get that data back into your Sage 300 system and report against it. And that's where a product like Sage Inventory Advisor can become of significant use and assistance within your company. Inefficient, time-consuming picking and packing. Time-consuming to pick and pack. So being able to actually pick and pack not only efficiently but accurately, making sure that the sales order details are being validated against the items that are actually on that sales order to be fulfilled, and you're getting that validation. And we can solve that challenge with Quikpak with a barcode scanning solution. Struggling to manage multiple carrier services. Well, I spoke that to the fact that with e-commerce being a growing trend, people are moving more and more. The distribution or percentage distribution between small parcel versus truckload shipments is starting to reach parity, if not skewed towards e-commerce. Now that has a lot of strain on Sage 300 distributors and manufacturers to be able to efficiently pick, pack, and then ship out those goods. It changes the nature with which you contact carriers, how frequently you contact them. It also can change the carriers that you're actually calling to come and provide the shipping of those goods. Some carriers provide different service level agreements. USPS is used differently than UPS, which is used differently than Purolator, which is used differently than FedEx. Now, as part of our connected platform, there are carrier management solutions built for Sage 300 that solve that challenge, but you need to have them connected to your warehouse. And again, that is part of the connected supply chain. So at the bottom, you'll see, again, more issues related to visibility, productivity, and profitability that the connected supply chain is helping to solve, including executing the audit trail within Sage 300 in real time. So one example of that, in terms of the bottom right square there, is actually being able to create a delivery record or shipment record, if you will, and an invoice within Sage 300 when that good has been picked, packed, and shipped. Well, with our connected platform, and specifically Quikpak, our warehousing application, we can actually bring that information in real time. So when we pass the profile of the shipment, what is the weight, what are the dimensions, where is it going, we can send that to a carrier management solution. They will get the information in terms of what carrier is being used, what the freight cost is, and a tracking number. We can bring all that back in the moment that detail with the carrier is confirmed, and update Sage against that order and order entry, create a shipment record, create an invoice record, populate the carrier that's being used, populate the cost of that carrier for shipping, as well as the tracking number. Again, this is creating a single source of truth, an end-to-end audit trail that is reflected for your business in real time. So no end-of-day reconciliations, not only for your accounts receivable processes, but simple data entry within Sage 300. So we're providing the front office visibility as the back office or warehouse functions are completing their tasks for fulfilling these goods. And that's critical for businesses to have the visibility they need, not only in terms of their inventory levels and the capacity that they have for new sales, but also their ability to make informed business decisions against accurate data within their systems. And again, this is all supported by having a connected supply chain for Sage 300. So we'll go a little more deeply into the Sage 300 warehousing solution overview. That is Quikpak. You can see that logo on the bottom right. It comes in multiple editions or versions, if you will, that support particular functionality depending on what you need today. If you don't need the full solution, we have other solutions available that might be more cost effective for your business. So the two key ones are Quikpak WAFS, stands for Warehouse Automation and Fulfillment System, and WFS, Warehouse Fulfillment System, which is strictly for fulfillment functionality. So you can see here around this circle, we have more than just fulfillment functionality. We have receiving and put away, so actually being able to pull in a purchase order, an outstanding purchase order from Sage 300, use a barcode scanner to receive against it, and update the inventory quantity and locations in real time as those are put away in your warehouse. There are multiple inventory transactions that you can handle, adjustments, cycle counts, transfers, RMA is being introduced as well. Waiving, so actually scheduling and assigning the existing sales orders that need to be picked and packed. We do have labeling functionality available, providing a library of GS1, UCC 128, even packing slips. You can even use our product to print out barcodes where you might be receiving goods that are coming in unbarcoded. So there's a whole host of functionality within Quikpak depending on your business needs, depending on your fulfillment cycles, depending on if you use a 3PL or not, and the list goes on. This is a solution for your warehouse that covers the key functionality related to receiving, or what we would call inbound processes, outbound processes related to fulfillment, as well as what we might call internal processes related to inventory management. Being able to replace a physical inventory count with a cycle count using barcode scanners, which again will be updating Sage 300 in real time to provide that reconciliation for quarter or year-end financial processes. And just to reiterate, this can be deployed on a workstation that is tied to a tethered scanner. It could be deployed on mobile barcode scanning devices, and we are, for mobile barcode scanning devices, we are operating system agnostic. So this could be deployed on an Android device, on a Windows device, on a iOS device as well. Here's an example of some of those connected services and how they function. So if anyone on the line right now is actually doing EDI or does business using EDI, you'd be familiar with a document known as the ASN. That's the 856 document, Advanced Ship Notice. Well, the reason we have that as a Quikpak connected service, and that is our product merchant, that's our EDI or order management platform. Those documents, certain outbound EDI documents that you need to update or send back to your trading partner once they've sent you an inbound order, actually require the coordination and organization of multiple sources of data. Some of the data is coming off existing EDI documents, some of it's coming from your ERP, some of it's coming from the warehouse. The ASN is a great example of that. The advanced shipment notice, a trading partner like Walmart is asking of you, or it could be Loblaws, it could be Sobeys, they're asking of you, provide me visibility into how this shipment was picked and packed. How many items are in how many cartons, which are on how many pallets. And each one of them has a unique structure. So by connecting our order management or EDI platform to our warehousing platform, we're actually able to automate the creation of those documents and the sending of them. So as you are picking and packing in the warehouse, we are at the same time capturing that packing structure for use on the EDI documents. That's unique to Edisoft and how we provision that. It's unique to our connected platform, and it provides significant value in removing the need for warehouse staff to communicate with front office or order desk or sales or accounting staff, whoever is managing EDI, to be able to communicate, this is how I picked and packed the shipment. The scanner, the workstation is capturing that in real time in the warehouse, and it's automatically populating the documents that are required to remain EDI compliant and continue to do business using EDI. In fact, by introducing this capability into our platform, a lot of our existing customers have chosen to grow their EDI business based on the fact that as a standard way of sending documents using EDI, they've actually found with our system an ability to become far more productive and operationalize a growing business curve with their partners. So by being able to quickly send accurate EDI documents to and from their trading partners, their vendor scorecard rankings increase, and those partners could be Walmart, could be Loblaws, could be Sobeys, could be Amazon. They're actually inclined to continue to do business and increase the amount of business that they do with these partners. Of course, I talked about integration to the ERP. We also have integration to Orchid Systems bin tracking module. If you're looking at augmenting the native pick sequencing available within inventory control in Sage 300, we have a connector to that. So that means that you can map out in detail the multi-levels of how your warehouse is set up. So you have potentially multiple racks or shelves of warehouse space. We can actually map that out using Orchid's bin tracking module, and we have a connector to that to make sure that in real time you're tracking how much inventory you have on hand and where is it in the warehouse. And I spoke to CMS. These are two other applications that are within the Sage 300 ecosystem that we've worked closely with on multiple sites, and we also have connectors too. Okay, so this is an example of how the connected supply chain comes to life. Here we're talking about the warehouse fulfillment platform or order fulfillment platform, which is Quikpak, and we can connect all these services around it to create an end-to-end seamless solution for the order to cash cycle. Now, I won't read all of these out, but obviously I talked about in one of my earlier slides how we increase or maximize visibility, productivity, and profitability for Sage 300 distributors and manufacturers by use of our connected supply chain technology. Now, these are some examples of how that increased or maximized visibility, maximized productivity, and profitability manifests itself in your day-to-day. Of course, there are much more granular specific examples we can get into, but what I will do is leave this here on the screen just for a moment to allow you to absorb some of the information here, which might be a challenge that you're facing today. And again, you'll notice a very consistent theme here, that it's about being able to know your business runs on your orders and shipments, which are driven by your inventory, real-time visibility to your inventory. Being able to bring in more orders, sell more, and fulfill more with the same or fewer amount of staff. So being able to free people's time up to do more value-add work, or be able to confidently do more business in e-commerce, EDI, or other channels without having to worry to bring on maybe temporary staff during seasonal fulfillment periods. That's an example of how we've helped customers with their productivity. Ultimately, all these things roll up into increased profitability, but we do have examples where we have helped specifically with the elimination of costs in EDI and warehouse operations, minimize late order fulfillment due to stockouts, etc. So again, these are really the key tenets of our benefits as it pertains to the connected supply chain. Okay. So I did say we would do a little bit of a slant or tilt, if you will, on food and beverage in particular, and we'll get into a couple case studies in just a moment. But what I'd like to highlight here are some of the key food and beverage vertical specific business requirements that are built into our platform. Okay, so specifically within the warehouse, being able to track or have traceability of products throughout the entire supply chain. So those products are first identified on the order that's coming in. That could be coming through e-commerce or EDI. We're bringing that into the ERP. We're then bringing those sales orders into the warehouse for fulfillment. We're then sending those completed pick orders to a carrier management system or directly to a carrier to be able to get the shipping information needed. Edisoft maintains a track from the second that order is generated from a trading partner all the way until it's fulfilled, and even updating Sage along the way. So we're able to provide a irrefutable audit trail or traceability, if you will, of those products, where they started, what order they're tied to, and what shipment they're associated with. We've helped food and beverage provide distributors and manufacturers use barcoding to keep track of cartons, pallets, mixed pallets, case packs, tracking repacking, processing items with lot and expiry data, and being able to control that from source to store. So tracking those considerations, again, lot and expiry is something that are functionality that's built into our product, and we can track that regardless of the unit of measure or stocking unit of measure. Okay. The next point is around traceability again, so being able to make sure we are in compliance with all EDI, financial, and state, provincial food regulations and requirements. So again, making sure that lot expiries as the key one is being tracked throughout the process, and we can pull that back into any given cycle as there might be a recall, hopefully not, but if needed, we're tracking that all the way through the order and the shipment. And then of course we can categorize and track different product types through multiple attributes and units of measure. So if you're purchasing in weights, potentially using catch weights, or receiving in catch weights, we can automatically convert that based on your stocking unit of measure within Sage 300. You might be selling in case packs, you might be selling in eaches, you might be selling in units. Whatever that is, it doesn't matter how you're receiving goods and selling them. We have those types of features built in. You could be doing things in fractional quantities, as an example. If you're working with cheeses or liquids, as an example, we can capture that. It's built into our product, and we're able to mirror that with what's set up in Sage 300, which helps you again with certain financial processes related to cost reconciliation, allocation, and year-end closing. Okay, so these are some of the key considerations related to vertical industry requirements that are built in as configurable options within our product. Here's some success stories based on Sage 300 distributors, food and beverage distributors and manufacturers. The first one is Krinos. Krinos has been around for 50 years and going strong. They are an importer and distributor of Greek foods. They have 10 trading partners, but they're doing over 1,000 orders a month. It's probably larger at this point. They are one customer that invested in the connected supply chain. So they use our EDI product connected to Sage 300. For fulfillment, they're using our warehousing product Quikpak, and they actually augmented their native pick sequencing in Sage 300 using Orchid Systems bin tracking. Now, in their case, they didn't require a carrier management system because they have their own fleet of trucks for shipping. But what we're able to do within the warehousing product is actually generate and enter a bill of lading, or it could be a fleet truck number. We can enter that into our product to allow you to track which truck it is on if you happen to use your own trucks for delivery, regardless of your industry. Now, what they've been able to do is streamline their operations, eliminate costly and inefficient manual processes. Everything prior to this was a manual process. So once they had the orders in Sage, they were printing up pick slips. They were running those to the warehouse or emailing those to the warehouse. Those were being printed off. Goods were being picked and packed manually without any validation of the item against the order. They were being closed off with bill of lading numbers, et cetera, and any necessary labels. Again, manually entering the details into other third-party portals like Commerce Hub to get the necessary GS1 or UCC 128 labels that they needed. Now, by being able to connect their supply chain and the ecosystem of applications that support it, Edisoft was able to actually make this a seamless, fully orchestrated process. Okay, so that is the Krinos success story. And they recently went live a number of months ago with the final component of their end-to-end solution, which was Quikpak. Kers, this might be a company that some of you are familiar with if you are in Canada. They are based in Toronto. They are very popular around Halloween, so they just passed. Their busiest season just passed, but they are located in most convenience stores that you go into in terms of confectionery and other candies like that. They work with a number of very large food and beverage providers in terms of reselling their products that you would be familiar with. They have committed to the final piece, which is Quikpak, but they also invested in the very same solution that Krinos had. They also had their own trucks, and that was an easier process for them to make a decision on not needing a carrier management solution, but being able to provide that shipping confirmation functionality within Quikpak is what they were looking for. Now, in terms of their EDI processes today and the updates pertaining to that, we have been able to quantify because they've been using the solution longer, and these are some of the tangible results that they've experienced. Saving 7.5 hours per person per week, eliminating the rekeying of EDI order information into Sage 300. Saving about 45 minutes per person per order by not having to coordinate with the warehouse around data for the ASN. Saving another 7 to 8 hours per person per week by automating Sage 300 shipment updates and that delivery record that I spoke to previously. So it's not only getting the functionality that you might be looking for in the warehouse, it's understanding that all these applications need to be speaking to each other for you to maximize the visibility, productivity, and profitability that your business can experience. So why choose the Edisoft Hub? Well, we are certified. We have certified API integration with Sage 300. We have been a development partner with Sage since, I believe, 1998. So we're very experienced not only with the vertical industry requirements of our target market, but also with the technological considerations. We do have I think it's important to call out that we do have an in-house development team. We have since we started in 1995, and we continue to support them today. Very important to recognize that we have that expertise, and that's what allows us to continue to add configurable options into our platform, continue to support any complex issues that may arise in your IT environments. We have that expertise in-house, in addition to our professional services team of technical support analysts, consulting, implementation experts, and solutions engineers. We spoke to the end-to-end supply chain connector, so being able to provide integration seamlessly in a configurable way out of the box to other Sage ISV products, ensuring that you're working with an ecosystem of applications that are built for Sage and now can all speak to each other. Again, we had talked about what that means to provide configurable technology versus customized technology, so removing the complexity of data mapping as it pertains to your integration. That creates, a simplified, cost-effective Sage ERP upgrade cycle. So ensuring that when you're ready to upgrade, so is the rest of your ecosystem that's tied to Sage 300. We do have a Net Promoter Score of +40, and that's industry leading within our competitive landscape. In fact, it's very close to industry leading across the software industry, and that's something we're extremely proud of. That is mainly based off of two key considerations. One, the technology and this platform that we've developed to drive significant value to our customer base, but also it speaks very highly of our professional services team, being able to provide real-time access to our team of experts in technical support, implementation, consulting, and solutions. So whatever the consideration is, you might be looking to do more with your business and you want to learn more about the platform. You might have a technical support issue that you need support on. Whatever that is, we have a dedicated team of individuals that are available real-time to service you and service your needs. Fast, hassle-free deployment. So again, regardless of your IT environment, it could be cloud, it could be on-premise, it could be hybrid. The nature of our technology and how it's been built actually allows us to deploy in industry-leading times. So for something like Quikpak, if you're looking just to get a warehouse fulfillment system up and running, once we've identified how we are going to configure certain processes, how you're going to pick, how you're going to pack, how you're going to print your labels, once that's all documented, the actual time to deploy the software, integrate it to Sage, and have you up and running, ready for testing and ready for user acceptance testing, is typically about anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. And then we give our customers anywhere from another 2 to 3 weeks to go through full cycles of testing, make sure they're comfortable, ready to go live. So within or under 2 months, you can actually have yourself a warehouse system, warehouse automation system with barcode scanning up and running in your business today. And that can include a number of integrations, not only to Sage 300. And again, easy and timely migrations, being able to connect multiple ISV products. If you're looking at getting onto Sage 300 or moving to the latest version of Sage 300, we make that an easy process. So with that, we've come to our Q&A. I will turn it back to Will to moderate any questions. And if we have any that we see over on this end, I'll make sure to capture them as well and address them as quickly as we can.
All right, thanks, Alexander. That was great. Let me just check here. I'm going to unmute the people that are on the session here. Just let me pause the recording. All right. So another question came in. If you started on, say, the on-premise version, can you switch over to the cloud version? Is it like if you're a legacy type client on the EDI side, say?
Yes, absolutely. So we have already started migrations for a number of our existing customers, but it is no issue for us. The main thing that prevents a lot of people from switching off their existing applications today is if they're integrated. Now, on-premise or cloud, as I spoke to, our connectors work with both. So it's really just a consideration for when you're ready to make that switch. And typically on the EDI side, at least, it really comes down to how many trading partners do you have today. That really determines the timeline. With one trading partner, we've been able to make that migration happen typically within a matter of 1 or 2 weeks.
Right. Okay. So it's not complex and can happen pretty
exactly.
quickly.
And whether it's an on-premise or cloud application, even if it's one of our Edisoft legacy on-premise applications, it's a very simple process for migrating or switching to one of the Edisoft applications to get into the connected supply chain.
Okay. And I mean, we talked about some of those benefits. That's, I think, what you covered in the success story is pretty common for most people to see, and when they roll out a solution like this, going from paper-based and manual printing of documents and moving them around, you're going to see gains like that from just about any warehouse that hasn't embraced having an end-to-end solution or embedding part of these capabilities if everything's separate, correct?
Absolutely, Will. And I'll just bring this up again. Those were just 2 case studies that we focused on just for the sake of time. But yeah, all of these customers have looked at the connected supply chain and invested in it where it's applicable to them. And again, that excludes, in a lot of cases, Edisoft products. We are helping connect these together. Yeah. But to answer your question, yeah, it's all about, again, eliminating paper processes, eliminating manual processes, and making sure that the system is working for you. It's very clear to customers that when an order comes in, it should be in Sage 300. But connecting your systems for that to happen is a much more complicated process when you don't have configurable out-of-the-box connectors that do not need that type of field-level data mapping. Yeah. So it's all about, again, the complexity isn't about understanding what you need. You can do your own research and figure out very quickly, I need a warehouse application or I need a carrier management application. It's understanding how you're going to bring them all together. And that's what this grouping of customers, amongst the hundreds of others that Edisoft has, that have chosen to go with us, because it's less about the feature functionality available in the warehouse application or the carrier management application or the e-commerce web store. It's more about getting them all to speak with one another. And that helps you also simplify your own decision cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other question here is, how do you suggest people undertake this journey with us and with you? What's the first steps that you suggest they go through? Is it an internal review? Is it working with us together? What have you found success?
Yeah, absolutely. And it always starts, Will, as you well know, and I appreciate this question, it always starts Edisoft in collaboration with your Sage partner. So we've worked very closely with DNA. They know your business. They know your system very well. They've helped you actually configure Sage 300, which a lot of integrations are dependent on. So it's really about Edisoft and DNA understanding where those bottlenecks are today, where you feel those bottlenecks are. And even though I communicated a best practice of phasing in the delivery, we have delivered everything all at once. We have done that before. It's a longer testing cycle in terms of the project delivery, because a customer will be going through the full end-to-end cycle as opposed to a segment of it. but we're capable of doing that. And in terms of where to start, it's really about calling up DNA, asking for a discovery session with Edisoft. We'll understand where you feel your pain points are, and then we can actually help identify for you, based on your symptoms, there might be a root cause that you haven't been thinking about. And that's from our own domain expertise and DNA's as well. So it's always recommended to pick up the phone, call your trusted DNA partner, have us looped into a call with them, and let's just hear from you what you feel the symptoms are, or some of the pain points that you might be trying to solve today. And again, we've seen it for 25 years across so many vertical industries. With DNA and Edisoft on the line, we'll be able to identify what the root cause of that issue is.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I mean, every business is a little different, but they're also do things, a lot of things the same, especially if they're in a similar market, or, you're a distributor or a manufacturer who's, building goods and shipping them out, or buying and reselling products and through distribution channel. I find the first thing is, obviously there has to be a reason why are you doing this, and why, what are you trying to accomplish now, or what pain points do you want to address? And probably from my perspective, wanting to write those down, potentially look at the process today, even internally before you call us, and understand how it's happening today, and where you see the pain points, or the decisions that need to be made, or that somebody's having to be managing and taking a lot of time to deal with. And then, we can help you discover that. But if you've done some kind of soul searching on the process before, and then come to us with, here's the kind of things we see, I'll tell you about my process, let's walk through it. Edisoft may, in their experience, also suggest some other things that maybe you weren't thinking of. We can help suggest where you might improve the processes on Sage 300 and the integration points. But it's always good to have a goal in mind, or several goals in mind, and which one's most important. And of course, what's it costing your business today for whatever whether it's time or effort, or incorrect shipments and then having to reship, or, there could be any number of things. And I think having that mindset when you come ready to talk about this really helps us focus on what you want to accomplish and when, and it really helps start that conversation moving forward. Would you not agree, Alexander?
I completely agree, Will, and I think the key thing that you've seen when we've worked together with a number of DNA customers to date, it's really about simplifying the conversation of understanding that in terms of the similarities, every business is different in terms of their types of products, how they've configured particular things in Sage 300, but every distributor and manufacturer is the same from one perspective. You have to get orders in, and you have to get shipments out.
Right.
Whether you're using a 3PL, whether you're receiving inventory into your own warehouse, or creating inventory through manufacturing, the consideration around being able to manage your orders and your shipments effectively and accurately is the same for everyone on the screen and everyone that's a distributor and manufacturer. And what we like to do with DNA is simplify the discussion to help you understand what those requirements are, and what applications in the ecosystem are available to help you automate some of those processes that might be unique to you. But it's really about being able to get your order to cash data moving seamlessly across these applications. Once we can identify how to do that, the rest is mechanical in terms of making sure that once the data is in the warehouse, you're picking and packing the way that your business likes to pick and pack. Those are mechanical configurations. First, let's identify where are those data bottlenecks today, and where do you really need automation today. You might have a budget that you're looking at staying within. Well, we can identify if the bottleneck is at shipping, if it's at the pick order stage, if it's at getting orders into 300, and you might have a view to that today. And that's really how we simplify the understanding of how we're going to solve your problems, because the rest is about, again, mechanical processes that are unique to how your business conducts its workflows today.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, well, I'll just unmute everyone again. If anybody has any questions, you can always email them to me. Like I said, we're going to follow up with the recording, and there's much more information available. We can give you an idea, we can have a chat, and then if you want to see kind of an idea how some of these processes work, we can always show, kind of a generic review of the product. Edisoft's got, some of those already on their website, and it just makes it, an easy process to move from where you are today to move ahead, because the technology's gotten so much better from a device side. It's not as cost prohibitive to get into if you're going to be doing, paperless warehouse and live inventory. You're not kind of stuck to one very expensive bunch of products that are so ubiquitous now, and Wi-Fi and using these devices is kind of like using your cell phone now in a lot of senses. And then it's just like Alexander said, working with us to kind of address the biggest needs and how you want to move forward. So we're happy to chat with you anytime. I hope you found this valuable. I really do appreciate everyone taking the time. I know it's a busy time of year before the holidays, but please just reach out to me, and we'll get the team at Edisoft in touch. All right, thank you, gentlemen. I know Daniel's in the background too. I really appreciate your help on all this, and we'll be in touch. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks so much, Will, and everyone enjoy their week. Thank you.